Here we go. So, Captain America Brave New World. Now, after 4 solid weeks and a fifth weekend, is at $388 million. Now, I told you weeks ago when this movie opened that considering the opening weekend and the immediate trajectory of its first week, that this movie was going to absolutely fight and claw its way to even see $400 million. Well, here we are. It's not going to see much more than 400. It did about $5.5 million in the U.S. market or North American market this past weekend, did about another $6 million overseas. Now, even when you add in during the week, it really didn't add another $20 million this entire last 7 days. So this is a turkey. This is done. And of course, 5 days from now, 4 days from now, as a matter of fact, on Thursday, whatever PLF screens that it still has, those premium large format screens that charge almost $18 for a ticket in prime time, like in the evening, $18 a ticket, even where I am in a Louisiana suburb, they're going to lose that. They're going to go down to even the cheaper tickets. In a lot of cases, they've already lost a number of their PLF screens, but they're going to lose whatever's left come this weekend because they're going to get pushed out for Snow White. Snow White's going to command all of the PLFs because there really isn't anything else out there that is going to come close to it, even though Snow White is not going to have a fabulous opening weekend, or at least not one where Disney would have hoped. Not in that same vein. $388 million right now. Where do you think that this movie is going to land? Now, you think about this, it's probably going to remain in theaters for, I'd say, another 17 to 30 days at least in some capacity. Certainly the number of screens will go down, no question. But where's it going to wind up? See, the thing right now I think the Walt Disney Company is really waiting for is I think Disney is going to leave this movie in the theaters as long as it takes for that domestic box office total to break 200 million. I think that's what Disney's eyeballing right now. I don't think they want another embarrassment, even though this is still going to be a mortifying embarrassment. And this is why Disney is continuously pushing the propaganda of the $180 million budget. It's not a lie. Not really, but it certainly is an obfuscation of the truth, because that may have been a figure that Disney greenlit and allocated for this movie to be produced 4 to 5 years ago when it was greenlit. But the damn sure isn't what they wound up spending to complete it and get it in the theaters. We know that. Okay, it's just a matter of how much more, and I'm telling you, it's at least $100 million more than they're saying. It's got to be. We just know how these things tend to roll downhill, especially when they make mistakes like Disney is famous for making, and having to do things over and over and over again. So I think that if Disney can let this thing sit in the theater another 2 or 3 weeks, they'll probably get to their $200 million box office. I think it's going to be difficult. $15 million or so doesn't sound like a lot at this scale, but for where it is, let me show you what I'm talking about here. If you go down to the dailies, look at Monday, March 10th, even on Discount Tuesday, March 12th, March 13th. Look at how far they dropped from the previous week. It's a drop of about 30% week over week, 25 to 30% week over week on those days. If we see a similar drop this week, we're talking about getting down to maybe $500,000 a day on average. So it's going to be hard. And again, obviously that curve continues to decrease over time. But I think Disney is waiting for this to get to 200 million. I think they'll probably get there in the next maybe 3 weeks. It may take as long as that or close to 3 weeks, but we'll see.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.